Imagine you are trying to put together this super complex puzzle, and it has thousands of pieces. And it's one of those double sided puzzles, so it has pictures on both sides. It's incredibly complex, but you do not have all of the pieces. How confusing would that be? How stressful would that be? Because it's literally, imagine, life or death for you to put this puzzle together. Okay? So just for a second, not too long. I don't want you focusing on it too long. Think of the confusion. That's how your body feels when you're not sensitive to the master hormone of leptin. Now, as a kid, and you tell me, I want to know if you heard this as a kid. You're so sensitive. I heard that all the time. I am. I'm claiming it. I'm a sensitive person. There is a strength that comes with that sensitivity, and there's a weakness that comes with that sensitivity. Like any gift, I view it as a gift now. I didn't as a kid. But now I view it as one of my greatest strengths. Now, you might not consider yourself sensitive like I am, but you need your body to be sensitive to the master hormone of leptin. We don't hear a lot about leptin. At least, I don't think we hear enough about leptin. And I think you need to understand what leptin does in your body. It was only discovered in 1994. 1994, it was discovered. Sometimes we can get so caught up that science has everything figured out, but it's not. It's not figured out. It needs to stay current and learning and discovering, because this master hormone that is one of the most important hormone in your body can be disconnected easily. So I debated whether or not to talk about this, but I'm going to. So I got disconnected from my leptin at the end of 2020. Supply chains, a nightmare, lots of emails that were frustrated with me. I let that sensitivity come up, and I just started sitting way too much on the couch. When we don't move our body, we become, our body loses the ability, it's a bird, our body loses the ability to see the leptin hormone. The leptin hormone tells our body when we're full. It tells our body how much energy and how it's produced throughout the day. But more importantly than that, I think, is it's the information hormone. And go back to that puzzle that we talked about in the beginning. It's stressful if you don't have the information that you need to do something. And if you're not connected to leptin, if you don't have that ability to see leptin, your body doesn't have the information, and information is not traveling through your body. You get disconnected from that. Now, leptin also helps build strong bones. Leptin also, if you're disconnected from your leptin, that happens 8 to 10 years before you become insulin resistant. Insulin resistant. That happens before you become diabetic. So sometimes we'll say, oh, about 6 months ago, my blood sugar started having problems. Actually, no, it was like 10 years ago the problems started. So the little tiny steps that we take now can make sure that the hypothalamus part of our brain can see the leptin, because Strong bones. I want strong bones. I know, I'm assuming, but I feel pretty confident you want strong bones. The beta cells in our pancreas, the master cells in the pancreas, are destroyed by leptin resistance. So today's going to be a little bit shorter because the day after a sale is a really busy day. Really busy. So today's going to be a little bit shorter. Oh, okay. Now I'm going to also talk a little bit of a trigger. And so I want you to be really good to yourself. And if it's not a good fit for you to listen to this, then hop off the live because I would never want to trigger anyone. That sensitivity for me, I'm also sensitive to how other people, what they are experiencing. Now, I can't control it, but I can remind you if, if it triggers you and it's just not a good day to listen to it, just hop off the live. So, the more excess fat that we carry on our body, the more our cells become resistant to leptin. Now, I had some menopause symptoms that also happened around the same time that I just got overwhelmed and started sitting more on the couch and my depression kicked in. It was just kind of this storm of things that happened toward the end of last year. And I started putting some belly fat, low belly fat on. I've never, I've never carried weight there ever. That is the the most, I want to say, I want to use my words really carefully. That type of fat in that place disconnects you from your body seeing leptin. Your arms, the size of our arms, if there's a lot of fat there, disconnects you from your body seeing leptin. And so you don't get, when we're disconnected from leptin, I started eating more because when we disconnect from leptin, our body doesn't, our brain doesn't get the trigger, hey, you're full. So we just keep eating, right? So now we're sitting more, at least I was sitting more, I was eating more, and more damage was happening to my body as I disconnected from leptin. But let's talk about some solutions. We need solutions. Simple ways that we can connect back to leptin. Magnesium cell saturation. Does that surprise you? Magnesium cell saturation. Moving, walking. Now, here's something though. In that over exercising, doing too much for where your body's at and what it needs can disconnect you from leptin. So that word balance has to come in to how you're exercising and how you're moving. And you can't go from not exercising to massive exercise. That won't connect your leptin. So it's a muscle that you build and you build it day by day, choice by choice. Another thing that really is beneficial to reconnecting leptin. So we talked about magnesium, we talked about movement, protein. Now, there are specific times during the day that protein is much more efficient at helping you to connect leptin. Because remember, leptin is sending information all through your body when it's connected. And when it's not, there's chaos and stress goes up in your body. And we know when stress goes up, we're not able to create the optimal health where that switch is turned on. I'm not just talking about health that, oh, I feel good, I don't have any disease. I'm talking about optimal health where that machine of yours, your body, is running so efficiently. It fights virus, it fights bacteria, it supports you. And that doesn't mean you don't have any hard days or bad, it doesn't mean that it's like this all of the time because that's not what health looks like. It means it's thriving. And I think We've walked so far away from being healthy that we're content if we don't hurt. And I want more than that. I want more. And I'm okay with wanting more on that. I want optimal health. I want my body to be strong and to fight virus and bacteria on its own. It has the tools it needs if I'm putting the input in consistently and showing up daily to do those things. And the other thing, so protein. Squirrel. I squirreled for a minute. Protein in the morning is really powerful to help connect leptin. So I'm going to share with you one of my favorite recipes. I'll post it in the comments when I get back to my house. Now, I have a disclaimer on this recipe. My husband hates them. He does not like them at all. I love them. I don't know if you will like them. I don't know if you'll like them at all. But they're like, I could eat them every day. And my husband was like, I'm not even going to try to get those down. So I don't know if you'll like the recipe. I really, really like it. And as I've been really focused on movement and doing those things to pull my body back to where it was and then to get beyond where it was, so I've got that constant gradual improvement. The other thing is sunshine, morning sunshine, that balanced light that comes as the sun comes up, because it's a balance, a beautiful, incredible, amazing, God-given balance of red, blue, and green light in the morning. That light helps your body become sensitive to leptin. The other thing that leptin does is it helps you sleep. If you're not sleeping well, it started with a disconnect from leptin, because leptin helps set the circadian rhythm in your body. So remember yesterday we talked about waves in the cell? And if you haven't watched, I can't remember what the name of that video was. If anybody remembers it, pop it in the comment section. Yesterday when we talked about the waves and how the sun and the electromagnetic moves the water in our body from the sun. But that is helping to set and helping our body to become sensitive to that leptin, so our bones are strong, so our brains get the information that they need, so we know excuse me. Oh, I'm full, stop eating, I feel satisfied. That all has to do, there's a bird telling me a story, that all has to do with leptin. So I want to know, oh, there you go, Pat. Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset. So I want to know, what was the most helpful thing about leptin that we talked about today? Share with me. What was that thing? Because as your brain searches, we've got about 20 people online with us right now. Oh, good morning from Toronto, Canada, right? Toronto, Canada. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, I forget to put them up on the screen. And yeah, I forget. Oh, Lena, that's so kind. Remember, I am a regular old person. I just happen to get on and talk a lot. Because sometimes when people meet me, I sense this disappointment that they're not what they expected. And so just remember, I'm just a regular person with working on the same stuff you're working on, maybe some different flaws on my end, but so kind of you to say that. I'm so glad. Oh, Linda, I'm so glad. Lena, sorry. Lena, I'm so glad. So I want to know, what as your brain pulls, what was most helpful to me. As your brain pulls that information, you're taking it from short-term memory to long-term memory. And if it stays in short-term memory, it's kind of a waste of time. like a total waste of time. And every minute is a gift. And so when you pull what was most helpful and your brain processes, you take it from an open loop to a closed loop in your brain. And then when you type, it creates action. And we know that women who take action are women who create health. Oh, leptin, yes. Um, Beth, leptin disconnected long before I noticed it. Yeah, sometimes we can be like, "Oh, this started, 6 months ago," but actually it was building for 10 years, a long time to get you to where you're at. And so that's why as women, we sometimes can set ourselves up to think, well, I've been doing this for a week now, everything should be fixed. And we don't actually say that, but it's our expectations. And so healthy women have realistic expectations, and they don't buy into perfectionism that every day is going to be a glorious healthy day while you're doing healthy things. It's not a linear path. And people who are really linear expect that. That's, that being so linear is a gift, but there's a weakness to every gift. And so they expect that. And we we need to remember that those days that maybe we don't feel as good or our energy is a little low, that our body is communicating to us, hey, I need more sunshine. I need more water. And so it's a way to lovingly look back the day before and evaluate, what can I do better? But not in a way to beat yourself up. I think it needs to be done lovingly. Leptin connects the body. Magnesium helps with this. Nailed it. But it's more than just magnesium. It's more. And I think I've done a disservice in loving magnesium so much, in that people pick up the expectation, because I get excited when I talk about magnesium. And I think I've done a bit of a disservice in that people assume they're going to do the 30-day challenge, which starts in August. I'm really excited. We're going to do it in the evening. And I'm thinking we'll do it like 5 or 6 Pacific time in the evening, all through August. There will be a couple times it's recorded because I'm going camping with my grandkids. But I think I've done a disservice in that I get very excited about magnesium and what it does for me and what I see it doing for other women and other people too, but my focus is women. And they start, and it's like this underlying current that they think it's going to solve everything, and it doesn't. It does not. It solves a lot of things, but it doesn't solve everything. It is the first step to put into place. And when you combine it with sunshine, it's a more powerful step, but it doesn't solve everything. And I think I've done a disservice there. And I didn't mean to. I do get excited. And I love what magnesium does, and I love the difference that I see. So today, when you eat your protein, the better the quality of the protein, the better the connection to leptin. Oh, let's talk about another one that disconnects you. Sugar, sugar disconnects you from leptin. And so think in the winter time, we tend about October, sugar consumption goes up because the Halloween candy comes out in the United States. I don't know what it's like. In fact, we should ask Lena, what is it like in Canada? Does your Halloween candy come out like mid-September? The Halloween candy starts to come out, and then we move into Thanksgiving treats, and then we move into um, holiday treats, and then we move into what comes next. February treats, Valentine. We go from one sugar thing to another sugar holiday, and then we're surprised why we get more sick in the fall. in winter. The sun, we don't have as much access to the sun, many of us, depending on where we live. And then we increase our sugar and we start decreasing our exercise, and leptin disconnects. So we're setting ourselves up for a leptin disconnection, but we can choose something different. And you're right, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it is so hard because everybody around you is doing one thing, and just following, the path of least resistance. That's not where health is found. Health is found when you say, "Oh, I'm taking my power back." And for women, I don't know if it's the same for men. For women, being comfortable with that power. If you're not comfortable with that power, you're going to continue to sabotage yourself. Because when the more health you have, the more access to power you have, the bigger difference you can make in the world. And sometimes I've seen women who have sabotaged themselves because they're concerned that people's expectations will change. And if you're already overwhelmed now with what's going on in your life, like yesterday, it was like, whoa, this is a pace of a day. And I hit overwhelm twice during the day. Like, my brain's going to explode. It was just boom, 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 boom. And there was some overwhelm. If you don't learn how to sit with that emotion and be comfortable with being uncomfortable, you will continue to sabotage yourself. So, getting healthy is more than just changing what you put in your mouth. That's part of it. But there's so much more to it than that. My name's Kristen. I'm so glad you're here. And let me tell you the other thing that happened yesterday. So, Friday is my magnesium sharing day, and I share magnesium. And then I couldn't figure out how to do it right. And so I needed a team to help me. So then we went to do it, and we realized we use HubSpot and Sakari, and that's two software programs that have to work together for our texting list. And then we realized, HubSpot's dropping the ball and there's a glitch somewhere and it's not putting people on the list that it's supposed to. They're there, but interesting. They're not connected. They're not connected to the list. And so I realized I'm going to send out these winners. So they're already chosen. And team is working to get the reason why the list isn't moving over. And so hopefully by this Friday, it will be done and 10 winners will go out. And if you're interested in being on that Good Life list, you can text the word Good Life. Don't text anything else, like not your name or anything else, because it triggers an automation to happen. So if you'll text Good Life to 435-213-9048, it will put you on that list. And every once in a while, I'll send out thoughts. I'll send out, when I'm sharing magnesium, I'll send out, if Core 7 opens, it'll go out on that list. Just little things like that. I don't text a lot, but if you ever don't want it, you can just hit cancel. So, Canada's the same way. Yeah. Okay. So similar. Oh, Trisha, I'll say that number again. 435-213-9048. So 435-213-9048. Okay, so we've kind of started a little tradition, you and I like it. Tell me if you like it. We're going to breathe together. I picked a spot that we could hear the sound of the ocean. There's no wind today, so you're really going to hear the waves. And I love that mantra of sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset. So right now, let you and I just take a minute and focus on our breathing and feel where it's going in our body. So are you ready? Let's see. I'll go this way and I'll start timing and just breathe in, breathe out. Sunrise, sunset. Ready, go. 1 minute. Oh, did you enjoy that minute? Sometimes in a world that's getting so fast paced, boom, we have to go to the next thing and we need to take a minute and just sit with ourselves. During my minute, I had another thought. So many people struggle with high blood pressure. Leptin sensitivity was broken before the high blood pressure kicked in. And so, resetting your leptin, movement that's appropriate for you, sunshine, protein, hydration, magnesium, all of those things are helping you to bring that blood pressure back down. Oh, I do too, Sherry. I do too. I think there's one. I think it's the same one, and him and I are becoming friends. Now, I'm getting some notifications, and some of you are putting the good life. So this is a keyword text, and if you put the, I'm not sure if it does the trigger or not. So, is what needs to happen is I got trolled in the fall, and it was part of what, not completely. I let myself be really affected by it, by the trolls, and um, so is what will happen when you send that text. You should get a text back that has a link that you have to click because you and I are friends, and having friends know each other's names. And so you have to fill out that form and put your first and last name. And that's a boundary I put up for myself to protect myself from those trolls, because I thought I'd gotten them off my lists and blocked them. And then they came in another way. And if there would have been a name attached to it, because I knew who it was, if there would have been a name attached to it, I could have more easily pulled them off. So it's just a friends know each other's names. So if you don't get that link, send it again, because some of you added some other things I saw. So just good life, just send in good life. And then you have to fill out that form to get on the list. And that's just a boundary I'm not, and I lovingly set that I won't cross. Healthy women have healthy boundaries, and healthy women respect other people's boundaries. Okay, love it. Love it. Oh, Linda, thank you so much. Linda put that number in for you, 435-213-9048. And the cool thing is that's our landline. So if you're focused on creating better health, come walk with me. Walk with me tomorrow. I'm doing it every single day, realizing that's the goal, but I may not hit every single day, and I'm okay with that. In the morning, the recordings, now this created some stress, but it also showed a pattern. And healthy women look at their patterns, because I'm taking these down, because these will come down off of Facebook at the end of the month. And a lot of people like, oh no, no, and there were sad faces. So think about it in that your response, it felt like you were losing something. So you had a reaction to that spiked cortisol. Now, that's okay that you had that. Recognize the pattern, because if you're playing a pattern anywhere, you are playing a pattern everywhere. So that means your cortisol is spiking to other things that you're perceiving as a loss. And so that you don't spike that cortisol, you can. Oh, I have a daughter who wants a vintage Volkswagen bus, and that was a yellow one. That's like her dream car. um, you can go to a place of gratitude instead of loss. And you have to train your brain for that. So instead of, oh no, the videos are going to be gone, you can have the thought, oh, I'm grateful that I've caught the videos that I have. And if you're wanting to watch all of them, or more of them, create time to watch them before they're gone. Do you see the difference in thinking? One is a magnesium mindset, and one is a trigger. And we all get triggered by things. Every single one of us get triggered by things. But it's by creating a stronger gratitude response. Now, if you feel that, sit with it for a minute, experience it, get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and then ask yourself why, and then ask yourself if you're ready to step in to find anything about the situation that you're grateful for. And that will help you hold on to that magnesium that helps connect you to leptin, that helps you build strong bones, helps move information through your body, helps keep blood pressure where it needs to be, and helps keep the beta cells strong and walks you away from insulin resistant. Pretty powerful hormone. I'm headed back to put in some time on a day after a sale because it's usually a pretty busy day. I loved walking with you today. I love being with you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.